Being a freelance photographer is absolutely not easy. There's a whole plethora of things you need to worry about, like sales, your actual photography, getting more clientele, marketing, and all those sort of things. And being able to focus on just photography is not easy. A lot of freelance photographers start to focus on the wrong skills. That's what we're talking about in this video. What's up guys, it's Project Photography back in the video, and today so I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit of story. Recently I got hired as a max press photographer. Well, not hired, but contracted to do photography for their company. So Max Preps is essentially a high school sports company that keeps tracks of scores, players, stats, pretty much everything high school sports. They have different sports like baseball, basketball, badminton, golf, just everything and anything nationwide for the United States of America. Now, they're a pretty good company, and they actually hire freelance photographers to go out to games and shoot photos for them. And photographers can go ahead and put those photos on the Max Prep site for people to buy them, and they get a commission off of it. So far, I've been trying it and I like it. It's pretty good. I like that it's flexible, it works around what I want to do. And if I want to shoot like 3 games a day, I can do that. If I don't have to. That's the great thing I like about Max Preps and being a freelance photographer. But besides the point, I went to a game yesterday and I saw a Max Preps photographer, and I was talking to him and stuff because I'm kind of new to this thing, getting to learn the ropes and all that. I watched this guy and talking to him just about Max Preps in general and how he makes pretty much a living off of it. He was telling me that, there's this game you can shoot here, but then there's also JV playing, and there's also softball playing. We were at the varsity baseball game, and he was telling me that you can shoot like multiple games in a day. And I thought that was quite interesting because for me, at least when I used to shoot baseball like for my own, I would usually focus on one player, one game, shoot throughout the entire game. But this guy jumped around pretty much at 3 different events. They were happening all at the same time, so he would only be able to shoot a third of the baseball game, a third of the JV game, and a third of the softball game. And sure enough, when I looked and saw his photos, they were not the best quality. Not only was the photos that he got not very action oriented, they were more static shots, but it just seemed like he was just trying to fill up the gallery, just trying to get as many different players in there, but not really focus on actually getting good quality images. And I'm sure for those other 2 games, if you only shoot a third of the game, what kind of quality are you getting? So this made me think about, what is a freelance photographer's goal at the end of the day? Clearly, it's to make money, make a living off of photography. But here's the thing, nobody actually gets into photography to make money. And I say it like this because when you do photography, you don't do it for the money. Money is always a secondary issue, because in reality, if you wanted to actually make money, make a lot of money doing something, photography is probably one of the last things you'd actually should pick doing. There is literally a bunch of other better paying jobs that are more consistent, more regular than photography. Like for example, become a lawyer, become a plumber, electrician, something that doesn't require too much thinking and thought process, you can make a ton more money off of. But you choose photography not because of the money, because you love the art itself. I don't know anybody that became a photographer, like a full-time dedicated freelance photographer. It was like, oh yeah, I make a bunch of money because of my photography. That's not really how it works. Most of the time you're struggling, you're not doing that well, you're doing it because you love the art. And having that kind of mindset of always chasing the money, not necessarily chasing the actual photography and getting better, definitely degrades image quality over time. Even if you don't necessarily decline in terms of image quality, you stay stagnant, that's pretty much declining and a regression of your image quality, because if you're not getting better, you're getting worse, even if it's just stagnant. And you're really doing a disservice to your clients and your own work and pretty much to yourself, because you're not focusing on the right things. And don't get me wrong, it's not just photographers who are Max Press photographers that have this issue. Photographers in absolutely every industry do this. I know wedding photographers whose images I've seen in the past couple of years have gone stagnant. They're pretty much the same. They don't improve. I've seen that with real estate photographers. I've seen that with a lot of other types of photographers out there. So this isn't necessarily a message to just sports photographers or wedding photographers or freelance. Pretty much any photographer out there needs to hear this message. Focus on your photography first and let the money come second. And I know the thing is that being a freelance photographer is not easy. There's a business side of photography for sure. But if you can make your photos just that much better, so good, so irresistible that people will come to you because your photography is just better than others, That's really gonna make the difference at the end of the day. That's what's gonna get people to choose you over somebody else. It's not about the price, it's not about any of these other aspects. It's about if you can create amazing images and wow your audience and wow your clientele. That's really all that matters at the end of it all. Remember, as a photographer, you always have to think photography first and money is second. If you love what you do, the money is an added benefit. It's an extra credit. It's a side bonus of doing what you love and being very good at it. If you're a freelance photographer and you're in this rut because your art is stayed the same for all this period of time, just take some time to yourself, really break down your photography and continuously try to improve your craft, learn new things, learn Photoshop, learn all these different skills and tools to improve photography. You know, learn how to take different compositions, challenge yourself, work on all of your aspects of photography. There is no photographer that has absolutely perfect compositions every single time. There's always something for you to work on your photography. And only then is it when you can surpass your own limits and create photography that you're proud of and that other people can be proud of and that you're happy with at the end of the day. Because if you can create photography that wows other people and wows yourself, I mean, you hit a home run every single time. And like I said earlier, nobody does photography for the money. Nobody does. It just doesn't make fiscal sense. Why would you do photography for the money when you can go to literally any other occupation and make more? We're not in this to be rich. We're in this because we love the art. We love doing photography, and making a living off it should be that extra side benefit. And I think this is a good message, not only for you guys, but for myself too, because I've done a lot of freelance work over the years, and there does become a point where you are focused on the business side of photography too much, and then you let the artistic part slide a bit. And for me, it's just this continuous improvement in photography. There's always a way to get better. And I want to learn how to do that and learn to improve and break down my skills and improve every single time. And of course, I know there is obviously a business side of photography. There's a business side of running your own business and all that. So it's a nice balance between the two. You have to balance being a good photographer, but also being a good business person. But you really can't let the money take over your art, because at the end of the day, it's your art is what sells your photography, not necessarily just going out and pandering to a bunch of people. So let me know what you guys think of this video. Let me know in your freelance photography, what do you do as a freelance photographer? For me, if you guys don't know, I do small business work as well as doing sports photography for Max Preps. It's a pretty cool gig. But yeah, let me know what you guys do down in the comment section down below. Anyways, guys, rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.